It's a statistic you've probably never heard before, and it's also hard to argue with. 98% of people will actually meet your brand before they meet you. Think about it. They'll see you on social media, your website, your ads, your videos, your printed materials before they see you in person or even through Zoom. So the question is, are you spending the time and effort necessary to craft the very thing your prospects get introduced to first? If not, today's episode is for you.
Okay, let's start with a few questions to put this thought process into a perspective for you. Are you posting regularly, but notice that your posts are not bringing you prospects?
Happens to a lot of us.
Raise your hand. Do your prospects often ask you, what is it that you do again?
Hate that one. Are they comparing you to a competitor and making a decision based on price? I hate that one worse. Do you end up undercharging for your services because you just don't believe your prospects can afford it?
That's the one I hate the most.
Are you struggling to focus your message because you just have your hands in so many projects right now?
If any of those sound familiar, they're clear signals that your brand isn't representing you well before people meet you. It could be causing a lot of confusion with your prospects too.
Yeah. And as Michael says, you know what Michael says? You can't calculate the cost of confusion. Okay. We know it's usually made up of commas and zeros, right? But
Definitely.
We just don't know how many commas and zeros it's costing you. Therefore, that's why you can't calculate it.
Yeah. So why are these frustrating things happening? It's because you're not putting out there what it is that you want to attract. Okay. Plain and simple. It's that simple. We all have a personal brand. We're all judged by what precedes us.
Yeah. So ask yourself these 3 questions. Your brand, what precedes you? Is it what you want to be known for? Big question. Is it different? Because that's what's going to set you apart. Is it memorable? Well, that speaks for itself, right? If not, you have some serious work to do.
We find that there are a few main reasons that people have not built a powerful brand. You may not know exactly who your ideal customer is. That's one of the biggest ones. And that's a tough thing for all of us to figure out. You may not be sure what differentiates you from your competitors. We hear that constantly. And if you did know these 2 things, you may still not know exactly how to package and present that in your marketing.
Yeah. You may not even know where to market or how to market on specific platforms, which usually happens because, well, go back to the first problem. You're not really sure how to define your ideal customer because you need to know where your ideal customer is in order to tap into the right marketing platforms. Okay. So, well, that's enough problems for today.
Let's focus on solutions. I tell my people all the time, do not bring me a problem without 2 solutions. You see, a brand is an entire ecosystem. In fact, at BrandFace, we look at 77 different criteria when we build a personal brand. It's so much more than just a logo, a photo, and a tagline. And if you have people talking to you about that, I don't care how cheap the price is, it's not going to be worth it. It all starts with this simple 3D formula that we created a decade ago, and we're still living it to this day and still helping thousands of people every day with this. Define, develop, and display. If you want to change the way you're seen before your prospects meet you in person, those are the steps that you have to take to perfect your personal brand.
Yeah. So let's break those down for a moment. Define means you are defining who your ideal customers are. Okay. Not for the purpose of boxing you in, saying you can only work with this type of person, right? But for the purpose of focusing on who you're trying to attract, right? You want to spend time, money, and effort going after the very people you're trying to attract. You're also going to define your point of differentiation, and that's what sets you apart from others in your space. And keep in mind, every human being has multiple points of differentiation. There's not just one thing that sets us all apart. The goal is to find that one thing that we lead with in our marketing, that we lead with the brand that basically says, this is what I want to be known for.
Yeah, like a flag in the ground.
Exactly.
In the development phase, you're going to develop the message and the image that will express what you want to be known for. In other words, things like your photos, your logo, your background images, and all of those other elements will be used in the final phase. And we develop that during that development.
Yeah. So the final phase is display, of course. It's time now to take all the messaging, all the imagery we've created to express who you are and what you're known for, and display those things correctly and consistently everywhere. And once that's done, then you have a brand that will represent you the way you deserve, and a brand you're proud of, right? You're proud for people to see before they meet you, because remember where we started, 98% of people will meet your brand before they meet you.